Hello and welcome to hopefully the ultimate Heirloom guide. In the description I will be having timestamps for the different classes like strength, agility and whatnot. But yeah, let's get to it. So first I'll be showing strength. This is not for tanking in general, but tanking is pretty much the same items, cause haste is not that good for leveling past level 60, I would say, so you would always be using these also for tanking classes. You go with the polished leg plate of valor. This is the crit version, and you enchant this one with I can't remember what they're called, but it's basically just leather working Mr. Pandari leg enchantment, and those cost like 300 gold, maybe 2000 gold depending on the realm. But you can get them made for about 100 gold if you can do that yourself. Dread Pirate Ring with... oh, next got a wrong ring here. I'm just gonna quickly fix that. Sorry about that. So yeah, you want the Dread Pirate Ring together with Captain Santa's Return Man. This one is from Garrison fishing mission, which is really hard to get for most people, I guess, but if you can get it, it's a lot of help. And this one you get from the fishing tournament in Straightenhold Vale, so if you can win this one, you get a really good Heirloom ring and other things like rare achievements and whatnot. Touch with Void, you will use this pretty much on any character that would be doing damage. It's just so overpowered, and you can get this one easily from Trade Channel if you haven't gotten it yourself from Garrison missions. This one is really good for just damage, because haste is always good, at least in lower levels. Haste is pretty nice for that easy killing, so you will be one-shotting mobs pretty fast, so you don't really need the crit, because even non-crits would be hitting pretty much one-shot. And yeah, these ones are basically just for dual wield, so if you're going to be dual wielding like a furry warrior or frost death knight, these would be pretty good. But another option is to go with the blooded Aghanim Reaver, and for the weapon you would be using Wine Song. That is a pretty cheap enchant, and you can get something that costs like 1000 gold, but I find that's a little too much to pay for the enchantment. So Wine Song on weapons are really good to get on everyone. You could also use another enchantment that's called Elemental Force. It's pretty handy too, but Wine Song is cheap. Yeah, you would be going with something that's called Peerless Stats, that gives you 20 stats when you're at the max level, that stops scaling. And this one is also just the crit and haste version with 100 plots to crit enchant. Crit is also really good for even cloak, but you can get other things like haste. And this enchantment comes from descriptions. These can be a little expensive, just like the leg enchantments, but yeah. The neck, it doesn't really matter that much about the neck. This one doesn't have any plus XP, but if you can get this one, it's kinda useful with the unuse and whatnot, but the neck is not that important for Heirloom. And lastly, just the crit helm. This one doesn't come with any enchantments, so you don't need to worry about enchanting your helm. So yeah, that's it for strength. Now I'll just quickly log into my next character. Feel free to skip ahead. Okay, so I'll be going into my... let's see, I'm going into my males. That is the hunter class. Agility, so that's something like shamans, enchantment shamans, and mostly just hunters. So you'll be using the Tarnished Leg Destruction with level working enchantment, using the Garrison fishing the ring if you can get it, together with the Straightenhold Vale. And these rings here are either enchanted with haste or crit, but I would say crit is probably pretty good, at least if you're playing marksmanship for a hunter. Touch the Void with haste, pretty self-explanatory. Now this one is more harder because I have an enchantment that's called Megabyte Filion, and this one I believe it was proccing crit, but the problem is that you need to send the heirloom to a high level character to enchant your item and then send it back. So it's a bit messy getting scopes on your hunter bows, but it's definitely worth it. Just yeah, deal with it. That it's a bit annoying to get enchantment on your bow, and there's a lot of options. But I went with the crit one because I thought that would just be the best option, pretty much. And plus 20 stats on the chests, and crit on the cloak, and inscription, shoulder enchantments, and again the necklace not that important, but it's also enchanted with crit, so that's decent enough. And no other crit options on the haste, and don't need to enchant your helm either, so yeah. But it's mostly just getting a scope on your bow that's a bit annoying. And for enchantment shamans you would be going with dual wield maces, so that would be, let's just quickly go up in here, Shaman. So you'll be going with these ones here, crit and haste, pretty sweet. And you will be doing with either elemental force or wine song, or maybe something more expensive if you can afford that. But mostly I would just take wine force, elemental force, because those are just cheap, so that's kind of nice. So let's quickly go into the next one. Feel free to skip ahead. And this one would be for my, say, Holy Paladin or Elemental Shaman or something like that. So, you would be going with the mail or plate leggings enchanted with inscription item, and you will be going with the garrison ship mission together with Stranglehold Veil. Touch of the Void is really overpowered even for a healer class, because it's just a lot of good damage to support your group even if you are healing, but it's really good for especially shamans that are elemental. And you will be going with the skirting out the beast just because it gives you some nice mana regen and some intellect, which is always cool. And the shield, that's kind of up to yourself. You could go with a staff if you're an elemental shaman, or maybe even some other class perhaps, but I just like to use shield on any classes that I can, so I would be going with a wine song, my weapon, because that's really cheap. And on this one I'll be going with an enchantment that's called Vitality, I think it was called. That is the best option for enchanting your shield. And yeah, plus 20 strats on your chest, and crit on your cloak, and inscription enchantment on your shoulders, and enchant your necklace for crit, and nothing on the helm, and you can't get a crit version either for helm, so yeah. But it's mostly about the shield here. Decide if you want to use a staff or go with a one-hand weapon and a shield. So I'll just be quickly relogging to the next one now. I think I will head down a bit here. I think there was an in place or something here maybe. Perhaps not. Feel free to skip ahead. So this one is for the agility users, that is feral druid, rogue and monks, maybe some others, but mostly it's just rogues. So the enchantment should be the legs should be enchanted with a level working kit, which is pretty easy to get on the auction house, not that expensive. This one is the garrison fishing mission. if you can get these 2 rings here, that's really awesome. This one is from the Stranglehold Vale fishing tournament. Touch the Void is an overpowered trinket for damage, and this one is just for some healing and more damage. And now you have some options with weapons. Either you go 2-hand if say you're a feral druid or a tank monk, or maybe even a DPS monk, or you can go say if you're a rogue with swords that is dual wielded or even daggers, and then you enchant these ones with elemental force, because elemental force with dual wield is really powerful. So elemental force as dual wield is super. The chest is 20 stats, the cloak is enchanted with crit, the shoeless inscription enchantment, and the necklace doesn't matter that much, but enchant this one with either haste or crit depending on the prices and what you prefer. But I think most agility users would like haste, at least at lower levels. And you can enchant your helmet or anything, so yeah. Feel free to skip ahead while I'm going into the next one. Now for cloth, so this would be your priest, your mages, your warlocks, maybe some other classes, and this would be for everything, even healing like a holy priest or whatever. So the first option is that either you go with an offhand and a mace, just like the shaman did, just no shield, or you go with a staff. But I like to keep it simple, and I went with a staff. And you enchant the staff either with Wine Song, cause it's cheap, or just something more expensive. The legs, you enchant this one with Inscription enchantment. Pretty easy to get these ones. No, those are not Inscription, by the way, they also are Tailoring, of course. So yeah, Tailoring the enchantment comes from. This one is from the Garrison fishing mission. Not that easy to get, but if you can get it, it's pretty sweet. And enchant this one with either haste or crit. And this one is from the Stranglehold Vale tournament. If you can get this one, that's awesome. Another very good Heirloom trinket ring. This one is really overpowered damage. It's from Garrison missions, and you can easily buy this one from the trade, cause many people sell them. Discerning Eye of the Beast, pretty awesome for just in general damage and regen of mana. And this one is enchanted with 20 plus old stats. This one is the crit and haste version, and it's enchanted with crit as well. The shoulders are enchanted with an inscription enchantment. These are easy to get on the auction house, not too expensive. Maybe the epic version is a little costly, but you can go with the blue version to save money. And the necklace is enchanted with crit, and there's nothing to be enchanted on the helm. So yeah, I hope you found this little guide useful, and as always, in the description below I'll be using timestamps for the different classes like agility, strength and whatnot, and you can just kinda skip ahead there. I will also be putting a very useful link in the description which you can use for even more information, which I kinda based this guide on. Yeah. I would also like to say another thing: when you're setting up a character, you should maybe consider already buying glyphs. So go to a guide that tells you all the popular glyphs for your class, and then just kind of buy them so you can learn them all at level 25. And maybe even get super good useful items like Finless Looter Ring. This is a really good item to get on any character. And you could also have other items like PvP items ready if you're going to be leveling Battlegrounds. That could be stuff like the Return of Champion, or the Defending Champion, or anything like that. Maybe this one even for a flag carrying Warsong Gulch, or whatever. But yeah, I hope you found this useful, and as always, check out the description if you're a bit lost. So yeah, Goodbye.